Hello everyone, my name is Sampada and in this video we are going to address this problem using Cisco Packet Tracer software. I have already installed the Cisco Packet Tracer software. Let's see what this problem states. Design a network to support 5 IP phones demonstrated by dialing extensions of respective phones. Let the extension numbers be in the multiple of 5 multiplied by roll number. We are assuming the roll number as 20. Then the extension number will be the multiple of 5 multiplied by 20, that is 100. 100 will be the extension number for the first IP phone. Similarly, for the second IP phone, it will be 200. And for the fifth IP phone, it will be 500. So let's start with the design first. In this bottom toolbox, you can find the end devices. From these end devices, we can select the IP phones. We need 5 IP phones. Now, we need a switch to connect these IP phones to the router. Switch is there in the network devices. Second option is the switch. We are using the 2960 switch here. And the router needed is 2811 router. Okay, so we take all the components. Now let's connect all these components together. For that, we have this connection toolbox. There are so many types of connections listed. We require copper straight through cable to connect the IP phone to the switch. So we are just click on it. Okay. Again, we needed a copper straight through cable. Similarly, for all the IP phones, we use copper straight through cable to connect to the switch. Then we are going to connect the switch to the router. Okay, so we did all the connections, but this red arrow indicates that the connections are not proper. For that, we had to configure the router as well as the switch. So first, we are going to set up the commands for the router. We are going to configure the router. For that, just click on the router. In the CLI box, that is command line interface, we came across this question, that is, would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog, yes or no? So we are going to set here no, because we are going to set up the commands for router. Then we first have to enable the router, then configure terminal for configuration. Then we need a fast Ethernet service. For that, interface fast Ethernet 0x0 we are going to use. Then we have to provide the IP address, which is 192.168.10.1, along with the subnet mask, which is 255.255.255.0. Then a particular command, which is no shutdown, is needed, so that router will not shut down in between. So let's move further. Now we are going to first set up the DHCP pool. So for that, the command needed is, first we have to exit from this config if. Then command needed is IP DHCP pool named voice. Okay. Then we are going to specify the network. Network is 192.168.10.0 along with the subnet mask. Same here, 255.255.255.0. Then we have to set the default router. Default router is 192.168.10.1. Then option 150. IP is also the same, 192.168.10.1. Okay, so DHCP configuration is over. Exit. Okay, so DHCP configuration is over. Now we have to check the IP phone is powered on or not. You can see in the config tab there is it is showing an error that its device must be powered on. Device is not powered on, so we require this adapter to drag here. Okay, now the device is powered on, there is no error. Okay, and you can also see the green arrow which resembles that the connection is proper and the device is powered on, of course. Then next command we needed is the telephony service. To access the telephony service, we again have to specify some commands in the router toolbox. So for that, we are going to write here telephony service for that maximum directory number is 5. We are using 5 IP phones. Then maximum E phones are 5. Then IP source address is 192.168.10.1. Port 2000 will be used for that. Then auto assign 4 to 6 and auto assign 1 to 5 for the 5 IP phones. Then exit from the telephony. Okay, so this configuration is over. Router configuration is over. Now we have to configure the switch. For that, go to the switch, then command line interface of the switch. Okay, now we have to enable this switch also. So first is enable. Next, configure terminal, of course. Configure terminal. Then interface range. As it is a switch, we have to provide the interface range here. First Ethernet 0 by 1 to 5. Okay. Then switch port mode access. Then switch port voice VLAN 1. Exit. Again exit. Okay. Switch is also configured. It will take some time to show up here. Okay. So now all these arrows becomes green. So the switch is also configured properly, you can say. Then we have to set the line numbers for all the IP phones. For that, again go to the router configuration, router command line interface, and in this command line interface we have to enter the ephone command, ephone ephone/dn1 for the first one, ephone/dn, sorry, ephone/dn1, enter, and in that we had to assign the extension number. For the first one, extension number is number 100. For the IP phone 0, the line number is set as 100. Okay, so just put it IP 100. Okay, then for second one, we first have to power it on by just dragging the adapter. It's powered on. Then in the router itself, we have to provide some commands. First, we have to exit from this ephone directory number. Then ephone directory number is 2 for the next 4, and number we are going to provide is 200 for the next one. Yes, line number is 200 for the second IP phone. I will just rename it as IP phone 200. Then for the third, we first have to power it on, add on this, then exit ephone directory number 3, and number is 300. Okay, line number is 300 here. Again, for the fourth one also, we first had to power it on. Then we had to set some commands in the router. Same command. First we had to exit from the ephone dn4, and for that number is 400. For the fourth IP phone also, it is set as 400. Then similarly for the fifth IP phone, we power it on, and then in the router itself, we have to provide the line number. For that, ephone directory number 5 will be 500. Yes, line number is set to be 500. Now, as all the connections are green, so it resembles the connections are proper. Now we have to check whether this IP phone are able to establish the connection with this IP 200, IP 300, IP 400, and this one is IP 500. So let's call and check. For that, we have a GUI, graphical user interface, of the Cisco IP phone. Here you can see the extension number for this IP phone is 100. Try to make a call by this 100 extension number IP phone to this 200, 300, 400, and 500. So first try to call to 200. Just press the number and out. So here we can set up a proper connection. We establish a connection between these two IP phones. You can see. For the third one also, 300 connection is established. It's also working for 500. It's working. So we are able to set the design for the 5 IP phones and demonstrate it by dialing the extensions of the respective phones. And that's it for this video. Thank you.